Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Connor Sports Talk. We're here live at the John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Wildcats softball team and the host side of the 2025 KHSAA softball state tournament. Today's semifinal game is between the Lady Cardinals of Scott County and the defending state champions, the Lady Cardinals of Henderson County. Henderson County comes into this game with a record of 33 wins and 6 losses. Scott County's record, 27-6. Scott County is the home team. They'll be in the third base dugout today, wearing the red pants and white tops with red numbers. Henderson County in the first base dugout. They're the visiting team today. They've got the all maroon with a white stripe down the side and white numbers. We'll go through the lineup for first Henderson County. Number 13, Aiden Bennett is batting first. Sanaya Shields is second. Maggie Grogan third. Mackenzie Burzik is fourth. Anna Kemp is fifth. Aubrey Risley sixth. Batting seventh is Lily Bennett. Eighth, Jersey Gardner. And ninth is Isaiah Hall. For Scott County, in the field first today, they have Gracie Strong at first base. Hadley Swin at second base. Lauren Jones at shortstop. At third base, it's Aubrey Wigington. In the outfield, Kinsley Callison is in left field, Micaiah Jackson in center field, and Maddie Skybo in right field. Behind the plate for Scott County is Katie Stevens, and in the circle for the Cardinals is the senior pitcher, number 55, Ada Little. Ada has 169 innings this season with 59 hits, 39 runs with 22 earned, 22 wins, 273 strikeouts, and a 0.91 ERA. We'll pause real quick here for the national anthem. We'll be right back for the semifinals of the KHSAA softball state tournament. We are back after the national anthem. Scott County's head coach, Mike Wagner, and the Henderson County head coach, Shannon Troutman, are exchanging lineups in the plate meeting presented by Morgan & Morgan. Scott County warming up in the infield as they get ready for this game. Henderson County, it's defending state champions. They were in the state championship game 2 years ago. They lost to Ballard. Scott County, this is their first time back in the semifinal game since they won the state championship back in 2018. Scott County total record in the state tournament, 25-16. Henderson County's total record, 11-4. Scott County has had 10 appearances in the state tournament between 2005 and 2018. Again, they won the 3 titles, 2014, 2016, and 2018. This season, Scott County was the 42nd district runner-up and 11th region champions. Henderson County was the 6th district champions and the 2nd region champions. So now the coaches will shake hands and they'll make their way back to the dugout. Ada Little steps into the circle now to warm up before this game. The flags in center field are blowing straight to the left, so wind could be a factor for a couple fly balls here today. Umpires for today's game: Brian Epperson at first base, John Preston at third. Stephanie Welch is behind the plate, and the alternate official is Todd Wagner. Ada Little still warming up in the circle as we wait for first pitch. Looks like we are ready for first pitch. Ada's going to throw her final warm-up pitch. Katie Stevens will throw it down to second. And the leadoff batter for Henderson County, number 13, Aiden Bennett. The second baseman will make her way to the box. Bennett has 131 at-bats this season with 66 hits, 59 runs, 35 RBIs, a .504 batting average. She leads the team in at-bats, hits, runs scored, triples, and the batting average. Play ball is called here at John Cropp Stadium. We're ready for the semifinal game between Scott County and Henderson County. Home plate umpire Stephanie Welch, waiting for the clock to hit 10 o'clock. It's hit 10 o'clock. Bennett steps into the left-handed batter's box, and we're ready for first pitch. Here is the first pitch. And it'll hit Bennett. So that'll put the first batter of the game on first base. She's going to attempt to walk that one off. She makes her way down the right field line. Visibly in pain. Batting second for Henderson County, number 1, Sanaya Shields, the right fielder. Sanaya has 109 at-bats this season with 47 hits, 39 runs, 35 RBIs, and a .431 batting average. Aiden Bennett still trying to get over that hit by pitch down the right field line. Now she'll make her way to first base. She appears okay. Again, the batter is left-handed Sanaya Shields. Here's the first pitch to Shields. Bennett's gonna go for a second. Throw down from Stevens is not in time. It gets past Lauren Jones, Scott County shortstop. But Micaiah Jackson, the center fielder, is there to back up the throw. That'll be a stolen base for Bennett. first pitch was called strike one. Hit the outside corner of the plate. Here's the 0-1 from Little. Shields shows the bunt. Bennett goes for third. Throw down from Stevens, not in time. Back-to-back stolen bases for Aiden Bennett. That pitch was ball one, outside and in the dirt. Now there's a runner on third. Nobody out. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Here's the pitch. And it's called a strike. Again on the outside corner of the plate. Base hit here from Sanaya Shields is going to score a run for Henderson County. Here's the 1-2 from Little. And it's hit down the left field line. Out of play right at the Scott County bullpen. So the count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes as Sanaya Shields stays alive with 2 strikes against her. Here again is the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 in the dirt. It's caught by Katie Stevens. She throws it down to first base to make sure they get the out. And that'll leave. Bennett did not try to go home. She took a few quick steps off the third base bag, but decided to stay. Batting third for Henderson County is number 3, Maggie Grogan, the shortstop. Grogan has 118 at-bats this season with 51 hits, 52 runs scored, 47 RBIs, a .432 batting average. First pitch today, she shows the bunt, pulls back, and it's called ball 1, low and away. Grogan, a right-handed batter. Here's the 1-0. It's fouled straight into the ground. Strike 1. Here is the 1-1. Low and away, ball 2. Katie Stevens behind the plate, able to stop that ball before it broke back to the backstop. The 2-1 hits that low inside corner for a called strike 2. Good pitch there from Ada Little. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. Here is the pitch. That ball is popped up shallow left field. Kentley Cowson's going to let that ball drop. Bennett's going to come in to score from third. Henderson County takes an early lead in the top of the first, 1-0. And Maggie Grogan will be on first base. That brings up number 44, Mackenzie Bursick, the designated player. Bursick has 112 at-bats this season with 47 hits. Leads the team with 62 RBIs, 10 home runs, and a .420 batting average. First pitch. Grogan goes for second. Throw down from Katie Stevens is high. And that'll be the 3rd stolen base of the game for Henderson County. That pitch, the first pitch to Bursick was ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. Never mind, it's going to be called a strike. A late call there from Stephanie Welch behind the plate. On one. A check swing from Berzik, and they're going to call it. Stephanie Welch behind the plate said it hit her. Scott County's head coach, Mike Wagner, quick out of the box, and he's going to ask for the umpires to talk to each other. Coach Wagner was quick out of the dugout after home plate umpire made that call. Now, third base umpire John Preston and first base umpire Brian Epperson are going to meet up right to the left of the pitcher circle. They're going to talk about that previous play. Kenzie Berzik was the batter. She took a check swing, and it hit off of her wrist. The umpires talk. Stephanie Welch, home plate umpire, going to go talk to Coach Wagner, and he's visibly upset with that call. Scott County fans obviously not happy with it. So now Henderson County will have runners on first and second. They bring up to the plate number 27, Anna Kemp, the pitcher. Kemp has 115 at-bats this season with 38 hits, 34 RBIs, and a .330 batting average. She's a right-handed batter. First pitch to her is called strike one right on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. So now the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Here is the 0-2 from Little. Outside, ball one. Here's the 1-2. A change up there. And Kemp fouls that one right toward the Henderson County dugout on the first base line. The count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here again is the 1-2 from Little. That ball this time is fouled down the third base line towards Scott County's dugout. And Kemp will remain in the box with the 1 ball, 2 strike count. Here again is the 1-2. That ball is popped up into foul territory down the first base line. It's hit by the catcher, Katie Stevens, in foul territory. 3 foul balls in a row for Kemp. For the 4th time, here is the 1 ball and 2 strike pitch. And it is called a ball, low and away. Scott County fans not happy with that call again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, now the count. The pitch. And a changeup left high for ball 3. And Kemp has now worked the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out away in the top of the first. Runners on first and second for the Lady Colonels. Here's the pitch. And that ball is fouled straight into the ground. Again, the count will remain full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. And that ball is fouled straight back and out of play. 5th foul ball of this at bat. Here again is the 3-2 from Little. And a check swing. They're going to appeal. They appeal to the third base umpire. They say, did she go? He says she did not go. So that will be a walk, the first walk of the game from Ada Little. And the bases are now loaded. She took a check swing there, and Kemp did. But there's no umpire at first base because there's runners on first and second. So they had to check down to the third base umpire, and he didn't have a view of it. It looks like Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner for Anna Kemp, the pitcher. The courtesy runner is number 18, Addison Duncan, a senior. Next up to bat is number 7, Aubrey Risley, the center fielder. Risley has 87 at-bats this season with 36 hits, a .414 batting average. Bases are loaded here with 1 out. First pitch in the dirt, gets past Stevens, and Grogan is going to come in and score from third base. Henderson County now has a 2-0 lead on Scott County. Mackenzie Burzik advanced to third base, and Duncan, the courtesy runner for Kemp, is on second. Now Scott County's head coach, Mike Wagner, is going to come out and have a word with the Scott County infielders in the circle. We'll be right back when this mound visit concludes. So we are back after that mound visit. As number 7, Aubrey Risley, steps into the box. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. That was ball 1, so the count 2-0. That ball is outside, ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes is the count. I kind of need to get out of this inning. Pitch. That will be called strike 1. That ball looked high and out. So the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that'll be called strike 2. Should hit that bottom of the strike zone. The third. So the count now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Little to Risley, and it's fouled straight down into the ground. Here again is a 3-2 pitch. And it's called strike 3. That is strikeout number 2 from Scott County's pitcher, Ada Little. That ball was outside as Risley started making her way down to first base. Stephanie Welch called it strike 3. That brings up the left fielder, number 6, Lily Bennett. Bennett has 105 at-bats this season with 31 hits, 17 RBIs, and a .295 batting average. First pitch is high, ball 1. Gets past Katie Stevens. But Berzik, the runner on first, or excuse me, a third, will hold up. So 2 outs away, runners on second and third. Here's a 1-0. And that is ball 2, low and away. Here's the 2-0. That ball's hit right back up the middle. Lauren Jones will get under her glove. Berzik scores from third. Here comes Kemp from second. She scores. Henderson County now has a 4-0 lead on Scott County. And they bring to the plate Jersey Gardner. Number 5, Jersey Gardner, the catcher, the left-hander, up to bat. Gardner has 45 at-bats this season with 15 hits and a .333 batting average. Here is the first pitch to Gardner. Low and away, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Hit right back up the middle. Hadley Swent's going to field it. Throw to first is not in time. An infield single for Jersey Gardner. Looks like they're going to, Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner for Jersey Gardner. It is number 9, Pacey Parker, 8th grader. Batting 9th for Henderson County, number 23, Isaiah Hall, 3rd baseman. First pitch to her. It's ball 1 outside. Hall has 116 at-bats this season with 35 hits, 21 runs scored, and a .302 batting average. That ball a little high, hit off of Katie Stevens' glove behind the plate, and that will advance the runners to second and third. Here is the 2-0 from Little. And it'll be high ball. Excuse me. Stephanie Welch, home plate umpire, called it a strike. Ball looked pretty high. But the count, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 from Little. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The pitch. And a check swing Gets past Stevens, and that brings in Lily Bennett from third base. That was ball 3. Henderson County's lead now up to 5. Scott County hasn't even had a chance to bat yet. A 22-minute inning so far. Parker advances to third on that play. Here is the full count. 3-ball, 2-strike pitch from Little to Hall. And it's outside. Ball 4. Puts another runner on the base path for Henderson County. And Henderson County now back to the top of their lineup with number 13, Aiden Bennett, second baseman. She was hit by the pitch in her first at-bat of this game. So third base coach, Shannon Troutman, giving out the signs to the runners. First pitch of Bennett's second at-bat. Called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. And that ball is fouled off the end of the bat toward the Scott County dugout on the third base line. Ada Little able to get ahead early in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs away in the top of the first. So Bennett steps back into the box now. Ada Little gets her sign. Here's the pitch. And it's called strike 3 looking. That'll end the top of the first. Ada Little records all 3 of the outs with strikeouts. A long inning, long first inning for Scott County. In the top of the first, Henderson County scores 5 runs on 4 hits. No errors from Scott County, and 2 runners are left on base. 5-0, we'll be right back. KHSAA Softball State Tournament, Scott County versus Henderson County on Connor Sports Talk. We are back at John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky for the KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Henderson County scores 5 runs in the top of the first. Scott County's turn is coming up shortly. Infield for Henderson County, Rayleigh Stanley at first, Aiden Bennett at second base, shortstop Maddie Grogan, and third base is Isaiah Hall. In the outfield, Lily Bennett in left, Aubrey Risley in center field, and Sanaya Shields in right field. Josie Gardner behind the plate. And the pitcher, number 27, Anna Kemp. The lineup for Scott County, Aubrey Wigginton batting first, Hadley Swint is second, Lauren Jones third, Ada Little fourth, Micaiah Jackson fifth, Katie Stevens sixth, seventh, Maddie Skybo, eighth, Gracie Strong, and batting ninth is Mackenzie Lydecker. And leading it off is Aubrey Wigginton, the third baseman. Here's the first pitch from Kemp. And it'll be called strike 1. Aubrey Wigginton has 108 at-bats this season with 49 hits. That's a team high. and a .454 batting average. In the circle for Henderson County is Anna Kemp. She has 150 innings pitched this season with 78 hits, 36 runs, 21 wins, and 192 strikeouts, a 1.25 ERA. Second pitch to Wigington is ball one. Here's the 1-1. And swing and a miss. Strike two. Wigington is trying to slap here. One, two. And that's fouled straight back into the net. Aubrey Wigington will stay alive with 2 strikes against her. Here's the 1-2. That ball's hit right back up the middle. Aiden Bennett, the shortstop, or the second baseman, picks it in the dirt, throws it across to Rayleigh Stanley, and that'll be out number 1. That was a hard hit ball right back up the middle. Aiden Bennett, Henderson County second baseman, backhanded it right in front of the second base bag and then made the throw across her body to Rayleigh Stanley at first base. That's out number 1. That brings up the second baseman, number 35, Hadley Swint. Hadley has 109 at-bats this season with 38 hits, 36 runs scored, and a .349 batting average. First pitch is hit to left field. Lily Bennett, the left fielder for Henderson County, calls for the ball and makes the catch for out number 2. That brings up Scott County shortstop, number 42, Lauren Jones. Lauren has 101 at-bats this season with 41 hits, 36 runs scored, and a .406 batting average. First pitch to Lauren. A check swing down the first base line. Rayleigh Stanley will make the catch and underhand toss it to the second baseman, Aiden Bennett, covering the first base bag. 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first. In the bottom of the first, Scott County scores 0 runs on 0 hits. No errors from Henderson County, and no runners are left on base. The score after 1 complete inning, Henderson County 5, Scott County 0. We'll be right back. This is Scott County versus Henderson County, KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. Leading off, and we're back here at John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, home of the 2025 KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Going into the top of the second inning, Henderson County leads 5-0 over Scott County. Leading off is number 1, Sanaya Shields. First pitch called strike 1. Shields struck out swinging in her first at-bat. Here's the 0-1. And it's called strike 2. A late call there. That ball low and away. Here's the 0-2. That ball is hit on a line, but it will be out of play down the left field line. The count will remain no balls, 2 strikes. So here is the 0-2 pitch from Little. And it is ball 1 outside. Here's the 1-2. And it's called strike 3. Hits that high outside corner of the zone. And it'll be out number 1 of the top of the second. That brings up number 3, Maggie Grogan, the shortstop. She singled on a pop fly to left field. Her first at-bat of this game. First pitch of her second at-bat is ball 1 high. Shows the bunt, pulls back, and it's called strike 1 right on that inside corner of home plate. One. Hit right back up the middle, and it'll be through for a base hit. Rolls out to Micaiah Jackson in center field. That brings up number 44, Kenzie Berzik, designated player for Henderson County. She was hit by the pitch in her first at-bat of this game. In the box now for her second. It is called a strike, throw down to second base as Maggie Grogan tried stealing. It's close, but not in time. That pitch was strike 1. Here's the 0-1. And it's called strike 2. Here is the 0-2 pitcher, made a little. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 2 of the top of the second. That brings up number 27, Anna Kemp, the pitcher. She walked in her first at-bat of this game. Came around to score later in the inning. So now the field umpire, Brian Epperson, is going to call time and call the umpires in. They're going to have a little plate meeting. Not sure what they were talking about there. No changes were made. They pointed at Maggie Grogan, who's the runner on second base for Henderson County, but she stayed on second. Here's the first pitch of Anna Kemp's second at-bat of this game. In the dirt, ball 1, Grogan goes for third. The throw down from Katie Stevens to Aubrey Wigington. Not in time. Another stolen base for Henderson County. That is 5 on the game so far. 1 ball, no strikes is the count. The pitch. Called strike 1. Outside corner of the plate there. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Here is the 1-2 pitch from Ada Little. And it's called strike 3 right on the inside corner of the plate. Ada Little, and back-to-back innings, records all 3 outs on strikeouts. And the top of the second, Henderson County scores 0 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner is left on base to score after 1.5. Henderson County 5, Scott County 0. This is Scott County versus Henderson County, the KHSAA Softball State Tournament. We'll be right back. This is Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, for Scott County versus Henderson County. The semifinals of the KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Leading it off in the bottom of the second for Scott County, the pitcher, number 55, Ada Little. Ada has 102 at-bats this season, 44 hits, a team-high 40 RBIs. Leads the team with 10 home runs, a .431 batting average. First pitch is ball 1 low. Here is the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. There's a changeup there from Anna Kemp on the mound. The 1-1. And it's called strike 2. Hits that inside corner of the plate. Here is the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Kemp to Little. High and outside. Ball 2. A good leave there by Ada. Two. That ball is hit into shallow left field. Shortstop Maggie Grogan calls for it and makes a catch over Lily Bennett, the left fielder who's coming in to trying to make the catch. That'll be out number 1 of the bottom of the second. That brings up the center fielder, number 4, Micaiah Jackson. Micaiah has 91 at-bats this season with 43 hits, 30 runs scored, and a .473 batting average. First pitch, foul tip, swing and a miss. Micaiah was going to slap at that pitch. Wasn't able to make clean contact with it. Here's the 0-1. Micaiah slaps that one to Maggie Grogan, the shortstop. Grogan throws across to Rayleigh Stanley. Is in time for out number 2 at the bottom of the second. That brings up the catcher, number 18, Katie Stevens. Katie has 83 at-bats this season with 33 hits, 21 RBIs, and a .398 batting average. First pitch to Katie. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1. It is fouled right into the Scott County dugout. That's strike number 2. Katie Stevens now down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs away here in the bottom of the second. The pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. High outside again, ball 2. Here is the pitch from Kemp. Swing and a miss, strike 3. For out number 3, that's the first strikeout of the game from Kemp. In the bottom of the second inning, Scott County scores 0 runs on 0 hits, no errors from Henderson County, and no runners are left on base. After 2 complete innings, Henderson County leads 5-0. We'll be right back. Scott County versus Henderson County, KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We're back here at John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, the host site of the KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Semifinals today is Scott County versus Henderson County. Going into the top of the 3rd inning, Henderson County has a 5-0 lead over the Lady Cardinals. Stepping into the box for a second at-bat of this game is number 7, Aubrey Risley. Number 7, Aubrey Risley, center fielder. First pitch. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And it's called strike one. Hit that high outside corner of the strike zone. One. And that ball is fouled down into the ground. It'll hit off of Aubrey Risley. So it'll be strike two. One-two. Check swing from Risley, but she holds. It'll be ball two, low and outside in the dirt. Here's the pitch. And it's ball three, low and away. Here is the full count, 3-ball, 2-strike pitch. And it is ball four, high and inside. Put a runner on first base for Henderson County. That brings up number 6, Lily Bennett, the left fielder for Henderson County. She singled on a ground ball to center field in her first at-bat of this game. She's in the box now, awaits the first pitch of her second. Here it is. Risley goes for a second, throw down from Katie Stevens, not in time. That was a close throw there, but Risley able to get in under the tag, it looked like. That pitch was ball one. Bennett gets the sign from Shannon Troutman, third base coach, head coach for Henderson County. Here is the 1-0. Bennett shows the bunt, lays it right back to Wigington at third base, and she's going to make the throw down to Gracie Strong, the first baseman. That'll be out number 1. Scott County's infielders, Gracie Strong first base and Ada Little pitcher, and Aubrey Wigington third base, all charged in on that bunt. Wigington was able to field it right in front of home plate, make the throw down to first base in time. That moved up Aubrey Risley to third. That brings up number 5, Jersey Gardner. She singled on a ground ball to second base in her first at bat. First pitch of her second is ball one. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Strike one. One, high and away, ball two. Here is the 2-ball and 1-strike pitch. It's popped up to center field. Micaiah Jackson able to make the catch. Risley's going to tag from third base, and she will be in safe to score. Sacrifice fly from Jersey Gardner. So now, looks like Ada Little threw over to Aubrey Wigington. They wanted to check and see if Aubrey Risley from third base left the bag early. Third base umpire John Preston said she did not. So the score is now Henderson County 6, Scott County 0. No runners on base. Brings up number 23, Isaiah Hall, third baseman. She walked in her first at-bat of this game. Here's the first pitch of her second at-bat. High, ball 1. Here is the 1-0. Inside, ball 2. And it's called strike 1. Hits the outside corner of the plate. There's 2 outs away here in the top of the third. Here's the 2-1. It's ball 3 in the dirt. And it's called ball 4. Looked like it hit the outside corner of the plate there. Stephanie Welch behind the plate says no. And Isaiah Hall will take first base after back-to-back walks today. And Henderson County back to the top of the lineup, number 13, Aiden Bennett. She hit twice in the top of the first with a hit by pitch and a strikeout looking. Katie Stevens is going to jog out to the circle, talk with Ada Little. She makes her way back to the plate. And Aiden Bennett makes her way to the box. Bennett lays down the bunt, but it is hit in foul territory right behind the right-handed batter's box by Scott County's catcher, Katie Stevens. Strike 1. Here is the 0-1 from Little. And it's ball 1 outside. One hit on a line to Lauren Jones. She picks it, throw across to Gracie Strong is way high, and Isaiah Hall goes to second. She moves up to third on the throw, and Aiden Bennett will have a double on an error from Scott County shortstop Lauren Jones. So now Henderson County has runners on second and third with 2 outs in the top of the third. It brings up Sanaya Shields. She has struck out once looking, once swinging. Here is first pitch of her third at-bat. It's fouled straight back. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1. It's ball 1 high. Here is the 1-1 pitch from Little. Inside, but it'll be called strike 2. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Still 2 outs away. Here's the 1-2. And it is low inside for ball 2. So the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It is hit right back up the middle, and it'll roll out to center field. Hall scores from third. Bennett scores from second. And Tanaya Shields slides into second base for a double. Just a line drive right back up the middle. Lauren Jones, Scott County shortstop, not able to get over and make the catch in time. That extends Henderson County's lead to 8. That brings up the shortstop, number 3, Maddie Grogan. She singled on a pop fly to left field in her first at-bat, then singled on a ground ball back up the middle in her second. First pitch of her third at-bat is ball 1 low. Here's the 1-0 from Little. And it is called strike 1. One. And it's ball 2 outside. Here is the 2-1. And it's called strike 2. A little check swing there from Maggie Grogan, but she didn't swing. Still called a strike. So again, a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Ada Little looks at her wristband for the pitch call. Here's the pitch. And that is fouled off the end of the bat, straight back into the net. Here's a 2-2 from Little. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That ends the top of the third. But in the top of the third, Henderson County scored 3 runs on 1 hit, 1 error from Scott County, and 2 runners are left on base. The score after 2.5, Henderson County 8, Scott County 0. We'll be right back. Scott County versus Henderson County, KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We're back here at John Cropp Stadium, home of the Kentucky Wildcats and the host side of the 2025 KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Going into the bottom of the third inning, Henderson County has an 8-0 lead over Scott County. Up to bat is left-hander number 5, Maddie Skybo. Maddie has 99 at-bats this season with 31 hits, 24 runs scored, 13 RBIs, a .313 batting average. First pitch today is slapped. It goes into the net above Scott County's dugout. It'll be strike one. Here is the 0-1 from Anna Kemp. And it's high, ball one. One ball, one strike. Pitch from Kemp is high again, ball two. It's 2-1. Maddie slaps it back to Maggie Grogan, the shortstop, to throw to first, not in time. Maddie Skybo, Scott County's first base runner of the game, along with the first hit of the game. That brings up the first baseman, number 23, Gracie Strong. Gracie has 84 at-bats this season with 31 hits, 16 runs scored, 30 RBIs, and a .369 batting average. Here is the first pitch to Gracie. Low, ball one. Here is the 1 ball, no strike pitch from Anna Kemp. It's way high, ball two. And out will come Henderson County's coach. It is Shannon Troutman. A little different here. They sent out one coach to talk to the pitcher and the catcher and another coach to talk to the infielders. We'll be right back when this mound visit concludes. We are back after that mound visit. Gracie Strong for Scott County steps back into the box. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Low inside, ball 3. Here is the 3-0 pitch from Kemp. And it's high, ball 4. Scott County puts back-to-back batters on base. And that brings up Scott County's designated player, number 7, Mackenzie Lydecker. Leidecker has 83 at-bats this season with 24 hits, 13 runs scored, 25 RBIs, and a .289 batting average. Now Scott County's head coach is talking to home plate umpire Stephanie Welch. And looks like Scott County's going to bring in courtesy runner number 00, Bell Banner, to run for Gracie Strong at first base. So after Scott County brings that runner, Mackenzie Leidecker will step into the box, awaits the first pitch of her first at-bat today. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled straight back into the net. Strike one. Here is the 0-1. Leidecker shows the bunt. The ball is high, ball one. Leidecker shows the bunt again. This time she fouls it off. Straight back into the glove of Jersey Gardner behind the plate. And it rolled back to the backstop. But the count is 1-2 strikes. The 1-2. It's hit on a line drive to left center field. One hops the wall. Skybo rounds third. Right behind her is Bell Banner. They both score. Scott County 8-2. And a double, a stand-up double from the 8th grader, Mackenzie Leidecker. So Scott County starting to chip away at the hole that they're in. 8-2. They now trail Henderson County. Maddie Skybo scored from second. Bell Banner scored from first. Scott County back to the top of their lineup with the third baseman, number 17, Aubrey Wigginton. She goes to slap, lays it right down the third base line. It is quickly hit in foul territory by the catcher, Jersey Gardner. That ball was just a couple inches off of the third base foul line. Aubrey grounded out to second base in her first at-bat. Here is the 0-1. That ball bounces in the front of the right-handed batter's box. It's blocked up by Gardner behind the plate to keep Leidecker on second. Here is the 1-1. Hit right back up the middle, and a Kemp fields it on the high hop, throws it across to Rayleigh Stanley at first base. That'll be out number 1. That advanced Lydecker to third base. And it brings up second baseman for Scott County, number 35, Hadley Swint. She flew out to left field in her first at-bat of this game. She makes her way to the box now for her second at-bat of this game. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball one. Here's the 1-0. That ball is popped straight back, and it will be out of play. That's strike one. So 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 1 out away here in the bottom of the third. Mackenzie Lydecker still on third base. Hadley calls time now, steps out of the box. Back in the box, awaits the pitch from Kemp. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. One, 2. Hadley fouls that one right toward the Scott County dugout on the third base line. The count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hadley shows the bunt. Now she'll pull back. And it's called strike 3. That'll be out number 2. That brings up the shortstop, number 42, Lauren Jones. Lauren grounded out to the first baseman in her first at-bat. She's in the box now, awaits the first pitch of her second at-bat of this game. Here it is. Ball 1, low and away. One-0. Low and away. Ball 2. Here is the 2-0 pitch from Anna Kemp. High and inside, but it'll be called strike 1. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ball tailing out. Looks like Lauren Jones stepped out a little bit. Wasn't able to reach the ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here is the pitch. And a breaking ball. Stays outside for ball 3. Lauren Jones has now worked the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it is fouled straight down into the ground. Lauren Jones stays alive with 2 strikes against her. Here again, it's a 3-2. This ball, check swing, hit to Aiden Bennett at shortstop. She makes the catch and throws over to Rayleigh Stanley at first base. That's out number 3. In the bottom of the third, Scott County scores 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors from Henderson County, and 1 runner is left on base. After 3 complete innings, Henderson County leads 8-2. This is Scott County versus Henderson County, KHSAA softball state tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We'll be right back with the top of the 4th. We're back here at the John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Wildcats softball team and the host side of the 2025 KHSAA softball state tournament. Going into the top of the 4th, Henderson County has an 8-2 lead over Scott County. Leading it off for Henderson County is number 44, Mackenzie Bursick. First pitch, ball 1. Bursick was hit by the pitch in her first at-bat and then struck out swinging. Second pitch on a line down third base, backhand by Aubrey Wigington. Throw across to Gracie Strong is in time for out number 1. A great play there by Scott County's third baseman, Aubrey Wigington. That brings up number 27, Anna Kemp, the pitcher for Henderson County. Kemp has walked and struck out today. Here is the first pitch of her third at bat. Ball 1, high. One-0. That ball is popped up and it'll be over the net. Goes right into the stands down the third base line. A little Scott County's pitcher gets her sign. The pitch, low and away in the dirt. Two, 1. And it's called ball 3. A little bit outside there. Here is the 3-1. Check swing. Say she did not go. That'll put a runner on first for Henderson County. Another walk from Ada Little. And Henderson County will bring in courtesy runner, number 18, Addison Duncan. It brings up number 7, Aubrey Risley, the center fielder. Struck out looking in her first at-bat and then walked in her second. She steps into the box now for her third at-bat of this game. Lays down the bunt, fielded by Gracie Strong, and she makes the tag on Risley's way down the first base line. Smart play there by Gracie Strong. So that advanced Duncan, the courtesy runner, to second base. That brings up number 6, Lily Bennett. She singled on a ground ball to center field in her first at-bat. Then bunted to Aubrey Wigginton at third base for an out. First pitch of her third at-bat is ball 1 high. Here's the 1-0. And it is fouled into the net above the Henderson County dugout. Strike 1. One ball and 1 strike is the count. And Bennett fouls that one right above Henderson County dugout again. She's now down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs away. Here is the 1-2 from Little. And it'll hit Bennett. So Bennett will make her way down the first base line. So now runners are on first and second for the Lady Colonels. It brings up number 5, Jersey Gardner. She singled on a ground ball at second base in her first at-bat. They had a sacrifice fly to center field in her second. She's in the box now, and she awaits the first pitch of her third at-bat from Ada Little. She steps out and fouls that one off the end of the bat, right toward the Scott County dugout. That'll be strike 1. Here's the 0-1 from Little. And it's called a strike right on the outside corner of the plate. Here's the 0-2. A check swing. They check down. He said she went. That'll be strike number 3 and out number 3 of the bottom of the 4th. In the bottom of the 4th, Henderson County scores 0 runs on no hits, no errors from Scott County, and 2 runners are left on base. After 3.5, Henderson County leads 8 to Scott County's 2. This is Scott County versus Henderson County, the KHSAA softball state tournament semifinals on Connor Sports Talk. We'll be right back with the top of the 5th. Excuse me, the bottom of the 4th. We're back here at John Cropp Stadium for the KHSAA softball state tournament. Going into the bottom of the fourth, Henderson County leads Scott County 8-2. Up to bat for Scott County is number 55, Ada Little, the pitcher. She flew out to left field in her first at-bat of this game. She hits that ball on a line to Aiden Bennett. She picks it out of the dirt and makes a throw to first baseman Rayleigh Stanley. That's out number 1 of the bottom of the fourth. That brings up the center fielder, number 4, Micaiah Jackson. Micaiah grounded out to Maggie Gagnon, the shortstop for Henderson County. Micaiah will call time and step out of the box. First pitch, called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Kemp. Outside, ball 1. Here is the 1-2 pitch. A check swing, but the ball is in the dirt. Ball 2, they say she did not go. There's no appeal. And now they will appeal down to third base umpire, who is John Preston. He said she did not go. It'll be ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Two. Hit right back up the middle. Aiden Bennett, the second baseman, fields it and makes a throw to Rayleigh Stanley, the first baseman. Back-to-back ground outs for Scott County to second base. And that's 2 outs. That brings up the catcher, number 18, Katie Stevens. Katie struck out swinging in her first at-bat of this game. First pitch, it's fouled straight back into the net. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. Check down to first base. They said that she went. It'll be strike 2. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Anna Kemp to Katie Stevens. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 3 at the bottom of the fourth. Ground out, strikeout. Scott County scores 0 runs on 0 hits. No errors from Henderson County, and no runners are left on base. After 4 complete innings, Henderson County leads Scott County 8-2. We'll be right back with the top of the 5th. This is the KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at John Cropp Stadium. Lexington, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Wildcats, and the host side of 2025 KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Going into the top of the fifth, Henderson County leads Scott County 8-2. And up to bat for the Lady Colonels is number 23, Isaiah Hall, third baseman. She has walked in her first 2 at-bats of this game. First pitch of her third at-bat is fouled off straight into the ground. Here's the 0-1, and that pitch will hit Hall. It's another hit batter from Ada Little. That'll put a runner on first base for Henderson County. So now Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner, number 33, Emerson Sword, a freshman. Henderson County now back to the top of the lineup with number 13, Aiden Bennett, second baseman. Shows the bunt, lays it straight down into the ground. Katie Stevens will pick it up, throw down to first base, not in time. She didn't even make the throw. There was no time to make the throw. So runners now on first and second. And now batting for Henderson County is number 1, Sanaya Shields, a right fielder. She struck out in her first 2 at-bats and then doubled on a line drive to center field in her third. She's in the box now for her 4th at-bat. She shows the bunt and fouls it straight back into the net. Strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Shield shows the bunt again. This time she doesn't hit it, and it's called strike 2. Here's the 0-2. Ball 1, low and away. Here's the 1-2. Ball is fouled straight back into the net. Count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Little. It's hit right back up the middle, and it gets under the glove of Jones. Hall rounds third. The throw to the plate gets past Stevens, and it will move up Bennett to third, and Sanaya Shields will have a stand-up double on a ground ball to center field. So Henderson County extends their lead to 7. 9-2 is the score. It brings up number 3, Maggie Grogan, the shortstop. She singled, on a pop fly to left field in the first at bat. Singled on a ground ball to center field and struck out swinging. First pitcher for fourth at bat. Ball 1 outside. Here's the 1-0. High and inside. They say that ball was way inside. Maggie Grogan took off as soon as it got past her. And home plate umpire Stephanie Welch didn't signal anything until Grogan was halfway down the first base line. Scott County's coach Mike Wagner out of the dugout now. And he'll walk back to the dugout. Bases are now loaded for Henderson County. Brings out number 44, Mackenzie Burzik. Here's the pitch. It's hit down the third baseline. It'll be strike 1, a foul ball. Burzik was hit by the pitch in her first at-bat, struck out swinging in her second, and grounded out to third base in her third. Here is the 0-1. It is fouled down the third base line again. Strike 2. The 0-2, ball 1, a little outside. One ball and 2 strikes is the count. Pitch from Little. Check swing. Say she did not go. It'll be ball 2 low. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. That ball is fouled straight into the ground. Here is the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch again. It's hit on a line, gets past Wigington. Bennett scores from third. Shields rounds third, and she will score from second. Grogan advances to second, and Burzik will have a single. So Henderson County extends their lead by 2 more. They now lead Scott County by 9, 11-2. So Grogan on second, Burzik on first. And up to bat is number 27, Anna Kemp, the pitcher. Kemp has walked in her first 2 at-bats today and struck out looking. First pitcher of 4th at-bat, called strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1 from Little. It's high, ball 2. Two 2-1 gets past Katie Stevens, and that will advance the runners for Henderson County. They're now on second and third. Looks like Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner and make a lineup change. Third base coach, head coach Shannon Troutman for Henderson County in his 7th season as the head coach of the Lady Colonels. We'll look at the lineup change. Looks like Scott County's going to bring in a new catcher. So first, Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner at second base. It is Pacey Parker. And Scott County brings in a new catcher. It is number 3, Kennedy Townsend. So in the box is 27, Anna Kemp. The count is 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And it'll be ball 4. Bases are once again loaded. So now Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner. It's number 18, Addison Duncan. Maggie Grogan on third base. Pacey Parker on second. And now Duncan, the new courtesy runner, on first. Stepping into the box now is number 7, Aubrey Risley. He is the center fielder. Struck out looking in her first at bat, walked in her second, and bunted in her third. This ball is hit shallow center field. Micaiah Jackson comes through and makes the catch. The momentum brought her all the way in front of the second base bag. That'll be out number 1 of the top of the 5th. So that brings up number 6, Lily Bennett, left fielder. A great catch there by Micaiah. She made the catch a couple feet behind the infield and outfield line. She was moving pretty quickly. Momentum brought her all the way to the infield. First pitch to Bennett is a foul ball down the first base line. Here is the 0-1. And it's called strike 2. Here's the 0-2 from Little. And it's fouled straight back into the net. Miss Bennett will stay alive with 2 strikes against her. Here's the 0-2. And it's outside. Ball 2. The 1-2 in the dirt, swing and a miss. That's out number 2. That brings up number 5, Jersey Gardner, the catcher. She singled on a ground ball to second base in her first at-bat. Hit a sacrifice fly to center field in her second at-bat. And then struck out swinging in her third. Here's the first pitch of her fourth at-bat. It is hit down the third base line to Wigginton. Wigginton will field it and step on third base to end the top of the 5th. One, two, three. In the top of the 5th, Henderson County scores 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors from Scott County, and 3 runners are left on base. After 4.5, Henderson County leads Scott County 11-2. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 5th. This is KHSAA softball semifinals on Connor Sports Talk. We're back at the John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, for Scott County versus Henderson County, KHSAA softball state semifinals. Leading off the bottom of the 5th for Scott County is number 5, Maddie Skybo, the right fielder. Maddie singled on a slap to the shortstop in her first at-bat of this game. Here's the first pitch of her second. It's ball 1 low. Here's the 1-0. She goes a slap and misses it. That's strike 1. One. That's ball 2 high. Here's a 2-1 from Kemp. And a slap. Missed it. And it'll be strike number 2. Swing and a miss. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. And it's ball 3 high. Here's a 3-2. And that's ball 4. Maddie will take first base. Good at bat there from Maddie. That brings up the first baseman, number 23, Gracie Strong. Gracie walked in her first at bat of this game, back in the 3rd inning. She's in the box now, awaits the first pitch of her second at bat. Pitch. High and away, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. And it'll be ball 2, low and inside. Here's a 2-0. And it'll be called strike 1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs away here in the bottom of the 5th. Maddie Skybo on first base. Here is the 2-1 from Kemp. It is fouled down the first base line. It will be out of play into the Henderson County bullpen. The count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Gracie Strong swung at a pitch above her head, but she fouled it off back into the net. Stays alive with 2 strikes against her. Here is the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. It is on a line down left field. It'll get over the head of Isaiah Hall, the 3rd baseman, and rolls out to Lily Bennett, the left fielder for Henderson County. Line drive single. That advanced Maddie Skybo to second base, and it brings up number 7, the designated player, Mackenzie Leidecker. She doubled on a fly ball to left center field, 1 hop the wall. She got 2 RBIs on that hit. She's in the box now. Awaits the first pitch of her second at-bat of this game. First pitch. Ball 1 outside. Leidecker fouls that one straight back into the net behind home plate. Here's the 2-0. And it's called, excuse me, the 1-2. It's called a strike. So the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2, in the dirt, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. That ball is hit into center field. Aubrey Risley makes the catch for out number 1. Skybo and Strong stay where they're at on first and second. Scott County now back to the top of their lineup with number 17, Aubrey Wigginton. She grounded out to second base in her first at-bat. And then laid a bunt back to the pitcher in our second. First pitch of our third at-bat is slapped straight back into the net for strike 1. Here is the 0-1 from Kemp. Shows the bunt. Pulls back, and it's called strike 2. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Kemp. Outside, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Anna Kemp to Aubrey Wigginton. And it is fouled off into the net behind home plate. Wigginton stays alive with 2 strikes against her. Wigginton now calls time and steps out of the box. Take the practice swing. Now she's back into the box. She waits the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Here it is. It's hit right back up the middle. Shortstop Maggie Dragon bobbles it, and it gets under her glove. Second baseman Aiden Bennett was there to back her up. Bases are now loaded for Scott County. Maddie Skybo advances to third. Gracie Strong up to second. Aubrey Wigginton on first. And stepping into the box, it's number 35, Hadley Swint, second baseman for Scott County. She flew out to left field in her first at-bat and then struck out looking in her second. Here is her third at-bat of this game. And it's called strike 1. Hit the outside corner there. Heather's going to show the bunt. Now she'll pull back. And she fouls that one over Scott County's dugout on the third base line into the stands. Hadley now down. Lisa in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Here is the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's out number 2 at the bottom of the 5th. That brings up the shortstop, number 42, Lauren Jones. Lauren grounded out to the first baseman in her first at-bat, and then to the second baseman in her second. Now Henderson County's going to scoot their outfielders way back. First pitch of Lauren's third at bat, high and away, ball 1. Hit right back up the middle, and Kemp able to make the catch, and she throws it to Rayleigh Stanley at first base to get out of the bottom of the 5th. In the bottom of the 5th, Scott County scores 0 runs on 1 hit, 1 error from Henderson County, and 3 runners are left on base. After 5 complete innings, Henderson County leads Scott County 11-2. We'll be right back with the top of the 6th inning. This is the KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky. We're home of the Kentucky Wildcats and the host site of the 2025 Kentucky High School Athletic Association Softball Tournament. On into the top of the 6th inning. Henderson County leads 11-2. Up to bat is number 23, Isaiah Hall. First pitch, ball 1. Hall walked in her first 2 at-bats, was hit in her third. This is her 4th at-bat. 1-0. It's called strike 1. Here's the 1-1. That ball is popped up and hits off of the net above the Henderson County dugout on the first base line. One-two. It is fouled straight back into the net again. As Isaiah Hall stays alive with 2 strikes against her. The 1-2. Low and away in the dirt. Ball 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Little. It's hit down the third base line and hit in foul territory by Scott County's third baseman, Aubrey Wigington. There's a foul ball there from Zay Hall. Third one of this at bat. Here again is the 2-2. Hit on a line to Hadley Swin at second base, and she makes the catch for out number 1 of the top of the 6th. Henderson County now back to the top of their lineup. Number 13, Aiden Bennett. She was hit by the pitch in her first at-bat, struck out swinging in her second. Doubled on an error in her third, and then singled on a bunt in her fourth. She's in the box now, awaits the first pitch of her fifth at-bat. Here it is. And it is called strike one. Hits that low outside corner. Oh, 1. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Ate a little ahead early, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. Out number 2. That brings up number 1, Sanaya Shields. She struck out in her first 2 at-bats, doubled on a line drive to center field in her third, and then singled on a ground ball to center field in her fourth. She's in the box now, waits the first pitch of her 5th at-bat. Here it is. And it is called strike one. On the inside corner that time. Here's the 0-1. And it's ball 1 in the dirt. Here's the 1-1. It is hit on a line into the Scott County dugout, or excuse me, Scott County bullpen down the third base line. Ate a little ahead early again in this at-bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, 2. And it's called strike 3. Out number 3 of the top of the 6th. Scott County needs to put some runs on the board in this bottom of the 6th inning. But in the top of the 6th, Henderson County scores 0 runs on no hits, no errors, and no runners are left on base. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th inning. This is KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We're back here at the John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, for the Kentucky High School Athletic Association softball state tournament semifinals. Scott County versus Henderson County. Going into the bottom of the sixth, Henderson County leads Scott County 11-2. A pitching change for Henderson County. They bring in number 44, Mackenzie Bursick. She has 45 innings pitched this season, giving up 44 hits, 39 runs. She has 7 wins on the season with a 3.99 ERA. And leading off for Scott County is the pitcher, number 55, Ada Little. First pitch, fouled into the net above Scott County's dugout. Strike one. Ada flew out to left field in her first at-bat, then grounded out to second base in her second. This is her third at-bat. A 1. Hit on a line into left field. It'll be down for a base hit to start off the bottom of the sixth for Scott County. Scott County is going to bring in a courtesy runner, number 8, Ella Millard. Up to bat for Scott County, number 4, Micaiah Jackson, the center fielder. She grounded out to shortstop in her first at-bat, then grounded out to second in her second. First pitch, ball 1, low and away. Now Micaiah will step out of the box. Back in the box now, awaits the 1-0 pitch from Mackenzie Bursick. Here it is. It's hit straight into the ground and fouled back. Strike one. The 1-1. Hit right back up the middle under the glove of Bursick. Bennett fields it at second, steps on second base. The throw to first baseman Rayleigh Stanley is high. Henderson County will get one out of that play, a fielder's choice. That brings up the catcher, number 3, Kennedy Townsend. First pitch to Kennedy's first at bat, ball 1 high. Here's a 1-0. Way high, way outside. Micaiah Jackson goes for second. And she got in a little run down there. The throw down from Jersey Gardner, Henderson County catcher, tipped off the glove of Maggie Gragan. And it rolled out to right field. So Micaiah Jackson was on second. Or is on second. Scott County's third base coach, head coach Mike Wagner, was waving her to third. But she didn't see the sign. By the time she saw him, the ball was back in the infield. 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Breaking ball there. Drops in, called strike 1. 2-1. Low inside. Jackson's going to go for third. She's there in time. That ball was right at the feet of Kennedy Townsend. So there was nowhere for Jersey Gardner, the Henderson County catcher, to go to pick up the ball. So Micaiah was easily able to slide into third. 3-1. It's hit to Maggie Dragon. She bobbles it, and it'll be an infield single and scores 1 run for Scott County from Kennedy Townsend. So score now, Henderson County 11, Scott County 3. Up to bat now with number 5, Maddie Skybo, the right fielder. She singled on a slap to the shortstop in her first at-bat and walked in her second. First pitch of her third. She goes to slap, and it's called strike 1. She slaps that one right over the head of Isaiah Hall, the third baseman, but Maggie Dragon, the shortstop, is there right behind her to make the catch. That's out number 2 of the bottom of the 6th. It brings out number 23, Gracie Strong, the first baseman. She walked in her first at-bat and then singled on a line drive to left field in her second. Here's the first pitch of her third at-bat. It's called strike 1. Here is the 0-1. In the dirt, ball 1. The 1-1 is called strike 2. Hits that low outside corner of the strike zone. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Bursick to Strong. It's hit on a line to Maggie Dragon, the shortstop. She makes the catch for out number 3. In the bottom of the 6th, Scott County scores 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 runner is left on base. The score after 6 complete innings, Henderson County 11, Scott County 3. We'll be right back with the top of the 7th inning. This is the KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We are back here at the John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Wildcats softball team and the host side of 2025 KHSAA Softball State Tournament. Today's semifinal game between Scott County and Henderson County. Going into the top of the 7th inning, Henderson County has 11-3 lead over Scott County. Up to bat The shortstop, number 3, Megan Grogan. First pitch is called strike 1. Grogan singled on a pop fly to left field in her first at bat. Singled on a ground ball to center field in her second. Struck out in the third, was hit in the fourth. She lines that one right back up the middle. Ada Little flinches, and the ball goes right into her glove. What a play there. That's out number 1. That ball was hammered right back up the middle. Ada Little kind of crouched down, and the ball went right into her glove. So that's out number 1. It brings up the new pitcher, number 44, Mackenzie Burchick. She was hit by the pitch in her first at-bat, struck out swinging in her second, grounded out to third base in her third, and then singled on a ground ball to left field in her fourth. First pitch of this at-bat, called strike 1. Oh, 1 is ball 1. Here is the 1-1 pitch from Ada Little. The ball is hit into shallow right field. It'll be down for a base hit. That brings up number 27, Anna Kemp. But first, Henderson County is going to bring in a courtesy runner. It is number 18, Addison Duncan. Anna Kemp is the batter. She walked in her first at-bat, struck out looking in her second, and then walked in her last 2 at-bats. Here's her first pitch of her 5th at-bat. It's high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Hit right back up the middle. Ada Little fields it. She turns, throw to first base in time. Out number 2. Duncan, the courtesy runner, advanced to second base on that play. That brings up number 7, Aubrey Risley, the center fielder. Struck out looking in her first at-bat. Walked in her second. Bunted to first base. Was tagged out by Gracie Strong in her third, and then flew out to center field in her fourth. First pitch of her 5th is popped up. Kenny Townsend dives and makes the catch for out number 3. That'll end the top of the 7th. In the top of the 7th, Henderson County scores 0 runs on 1 hit, no errors from Scott County, and 1 runner is left on base. After 6.5, Henderson County still leads 11-3. We'll be right back. Scott County's last chance at this game coming up in the bottom of the 7th. This is KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. We'll be right back. We're back here at the John Cropp Stadium, Lexington, Kentucky, for the KHSAA softball semifinal game. Scott County versus Henderson County. We're going into the bottom of the 7th. And Henderson County has a 8-run lead, 11-3 is the score over Scott County. Stepping into the box, the designated player for Scott County is Mackenzie Lydecker. She doubled on a fly ball to left center field in her first at-bat and then flew out to center field in her second. Here's the first pitch of her third. Called strike one. Hit the outside corner of the plate. This is Scott County's last chance at this game. We're in the bottom of the seventh. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hit down the third baseline, and it is foul. Strike two. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. That ball is hit into shallow right field, and Sanaya Shields is able to make the catch out in right field for out number 1. So Scott County back to the top of their lineup with number 17, Aubrey Wigington. Aubrey grounded out to second base in her first at-bat, and sacrificed back to the pitcher in her second, and then singled on an error by the shortstop in her third at-bat. She's in the box now. Awaits the first pitch of her fourth at-bat from Mackenzie Bursick. Here it is. Ball 1, low and away. Here's the 1-0. Hit right back up the middle, off the glove of Bursick. Shortstop Maggie Grogan able to make the catch. The throw across to Rayleigh Stanley, not in time. Stanley strided out real far to try to make that catch, but it wasn't in time. It's an infield single. It brings up number 35, Hadley Swint, second baseman. She flew out to left field in her first at-bat and struck out swinging in her next 2. She's in the box now. Awaits the first pitch of her fourth at-bat today. Here it is. It's high, ball 1. Here is the 1-0 from Bursick. Hit on a line into left center field. It's down for a base hit. Off the leg of Lily Bennett. Aubrey Wigington's going to round third. She's coming in to score. No play. As Hadley Swint dives into third, she will be safe. A triple by Hadley Swint, and it scores 1. Aubrey Wigington scored from first. The score now 11-4. It brings up number 42, Lauren Jones, the shortstop. She grounded out to first base, second base, and back to the pitcher in her first 3 at-bats this game. First pitch of her fourth at-bat. And the dirt, ball 1. Last play officially scored an error on the left fielder, Lily Bennett. That pitch high and away, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Lauren. And it'll be called strike 1. It again hit that low outside corner of the strike zone. 2-1 from Berzik. And it bounces a few feet in front of the right-handed batter's box. It'll be ball 3. Now they're going to bring out a rosin bag for the pitcher, Mackenzie Berzik. She said that ball slipped out of her hand. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out away. Here's the pitch from Berzik to Lauren Jones. And it is called strike 2. Hits that outside corner of the plate. The count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it is fouled straight back out of play, as Lauren Jones stays alive with 2 strikes against her. Here again is the 3-2 pitch. And it's low inside. Lauren Jones will take first base. Scott County now with runners on first and third. They bring up the pitcher, number 55, Ada Little. Ada flew out to left field in her first at-bat, grounded out to second base in her second. And then single on a line drive to left field in her third. She's in the box now, waits the first pitch of her fourth. Here it is. Outside, ball 1. Here is the 1-0. And that bounces in front of the right-handed batter's box. Ball 2. Here's the 2-0. As Ada pops that one down the left field line. And it'll be out of play, strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike is the count. Rain starting to come down here at the John Cropp Stadium. A little hits that one right back up the middle under the glove of Berzik, and it gets past the shortstop, Maggie Grogan. So Scott County adds 1 more run to the scoreboard, and they'll have runners on first and second. Now out will come Henderson County coach Shannon Troutman. He's going to talk with the infielders. We'll be right back when this mound visit concludes. We're back here at the John Cropp Stadium. Up to bat is Micaiah Jackson. First pitch was called strike one. Second pitch gets past Jersey Gardner behind the plate, and it'll advance the runners to second and third. Lauren Jones on third. Ella Millard is the courtesy runner for the pitcher, Ada Little. The score, Henderson County 11, Scott County 5. The count, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Scott County needs a big rally here, and they've got it well started. Here's the 1-1. Micaiah hits that one into the ground, and it is hit in foul territory by the catcher, Jersey Gardner. That's strike two. Micaiah steps back into the box now. Here's the 1-2 from Bursick. Low and away, ball two. A great play there by Jersey Gardner behind the plate to catch that ball, keep a run off the board for Scott County. Two. Guy hits out right back up the middle. It gets through. Jones scores from second. Here comes Millard from third. The throw down in time. Scott County adds 2 more. A stand-up double by Micaiah Jackson. The score now, Henderson County 11, Scott County 7. Now Henderson County is going to make a pitching change. Coming up to bat is number 3, Kennedy Townsend. When we return, we'll be right back. The score 11-7 in the bottom of the 7th. 1 out. This is Scott County versus Henderson County at KHSAA Softball State Semifinals. We'll be right back. We're back here at John Cropp Stadium after that pitching change. Henderson County brought in the same pitcher that started this game, his number 27, Anna Kemp. Pitched the first 3 or 4 innings of this game, and then Henderson County brought in Mackenzie Bursick. She wasn't able to get out of the game. Scott County's put up a few runs here this last inning. They got runner on second, and a 11-7 they trail. Kennedy Townsend up to bat. This is her second at bat of this game. First pitch, ball 1 low in the dirt. Kennedy singled on air by the shortstop in her first at bat of this game. Here is the 1-0 to Townsend. Hit right back up the middle. This time Kemp is able to put a glove on it, and she tosses it over to Rayleigh Stanley at first base. That's out number 2. So that brings up number 5 for Scott County, Maddie Skybo. Maddie singled on a slap to shortstop in her first at-bat, walked in her second, and then flew out on a slap to shortstop in her third. First pitch of her fourth at-bat on the way. Here it is. And it'll be called strike 1. Micaiah Jackson is on third base now for Scott County. She advanced on that ground out by Townsend. Here's the 0-1. It is hit over the head of Isaiah Hall, the third baseman, and it will score Jackson from third. Maddie Skybo, a stand-up double on a little slap over the third baseman Isaiah Hall's head. The score now Henderson County 11, Scott County 8. That brings up number 23, Gracie Strong. Gracie walked in her first at-bat, singled on a line drive to left field in her second, then lined out to the shortstop in her third. Steps into the box now, waits the first pitch of her fourth at-bat. Here is the first pitch to Strong. And it's called strike 1. That was the low inside corner of the plate. Here is the 0-1 from Kemp. Swing and a miss, strike 2. A big swing there from Gracie Strong. Now Gracie is down, no balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. This is Scott County's last out of the game and the last strike of the game. Gracie settles into the box now. This Kemp gets her sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the game. Final score, Henderson County 11, Scott County 8. Henderson County, for the third year in a row, moves on to the KHSAA State Championship. This is the furthest Scott County has made it in the state tournament since 2018 when they won the championship. So a great season by Scott County. In the bottom of the 7th, Scott County put up 5 runs on 2 errors. 3 hits and 1 runner was left on base. So again, a great season by Scott County. The final record is 27 wins and 7 losses. Henderson County advances to the championship, a record now 34 wins and 6 losses. Again, the final score, Henderson County 11, Scott County 8. This has been Scott County versus Henderson County, the KHSAA Softball State Tournament on Connor Sports Talk. Thanks for tuning in this season, everyone. And we will be back next year with more coverage on Connor Sports Talk. So thanks again for tuning in, and have a good day.